Welcome to this video clip about research from the Light in Europe project on lifelong learning, innovation, growth and human capital tracks in Europe. My name is Samuel Greif from the University of Luxembourg, and I will now briefly tell you about our results on lifelong learning, transversal skills and learning mechanisms. What I will explain to you is that complex problem solving as transversal skill is relevant on the individual level, on the enterprise level and also on the country level. Workplaces are gravitating towards more complexity as they become more dynamic and utilize more elaborate technology in the 21st century. From this, there comes a new demand for transversal skills, and one of these transversal skills is complex problem solving. Complex problem solving describes a person's skill to successfully deal with new problem situations in a number of different contents and settings. In this talk, we take a multi-level approach to complex problem solving by focusing on the individual, the enterprise and the country level. On the individual level, we are interested in how domain general cognitive factors are precursors of performance in flexible and non-routine tasks. On the enterprise level, we are interested in how to utilize internal resources to both equip employees with essential skills and from this improve company efficiency. And on the country level, we are interested in how to embrace globalization by facilitating lifelong learning, for instance by facilitating skills such as complex problem solving. From this we derive two major research questions with implications for each of the three levels. The first is, how do countries, companies and individuals differ in their complex problem solving skills? The second is, can complex problem solving be considered a reflection of the amount of lifelong learning that, again, individuals, enterprises and countries have engaged in the past? So let's start with the first research question. What you see on this graph is how the sample that we collected in the Light in Europe project emerged over the course of several years. In total, 40 enterprises were tested in 13 countries across several continents. As you see on the graph, on the x-axis, there were 52 assessments in 40 enterprises, and those evolved to almost 1,200 participants. The mean age of the participants was around 36 years, ranging from 18 to 64. So, based on this data, we took a look at the country, the enterprise and the individual level. Let's start with the country level. On this graph, you can see how countries differ in their CPS skills. You see on the x-axis the names of the countries, and on the y-axis, their complex problem-solving score. The average for this score is 500 with a standard deviation of 100. From the graph, you can see that the means in the countries range from around 420 as the lowest mean country score to around 540 points, the highest mean country score. However, it is difficult to directly compare countries because the samples in each country were not representative, and there's also much variation in terms of which kind of enterprises we assessed in the different countries. So there is obviously, also from other studies such as the PISA or the PIAC assessments, evidence for some differences, but there's no clear pattern that we can interpret on the basis of this data. So from this, let's rather go ahead and take a more detailed look on the enterprise level. On this graph, you again see on the y-axis the mean CPS score, and on the x-axis different companies, some examples out of the 40 that we tested. For instance, take a look at the two green bars, both companies from the agricultural sector. They exhibit in this sample rather low mean CPS scores. In comparison to the green bars, also take a look at the three blue bars, which are all companies from the IT sector with rather high mean CPS scores. So what this graph can tell us is that there seem to be, according to the sector where the companies come from, there seem to be mean differences in CPS scores. So from here, let's go one level deeper on the individual level. On this graph, we see the complex problem-solving scores of individuals within one specific German company from the engineering sector. What we can see here is that each dot is an individual, so we have about 100 persons that were tested in this company. And we can see that even within one company, individuals differ a lot in terms of their complex problem-solving scores. Here, the minimal score is around 350, and the maximum score is around 650. So this shows that even within a company, there is huge variation in complex problem-solving as one relevant transversal skills. And of course, from this there are many implications for companies and, for instance, for their promotion scheme, because not everybody has a complex problem-solving skills that enable them to take a specific job or a specific position in this company. Now, in the second research question, we wanted to ask whether complex problem-solving can be considered as a reflection of the amount of lifelong learning that individuals, companies, and countries have engaged in. There is a huge body of research, and from this body of research, including our own research in the Light in Europe project, we conclude that it is important to internalize transversal skills such as complex problem solving, and that this allows individuals to apply these skills to a variety of contexts. This is best achieved through continued practice in real-life work situations. It's also important to note that complex jobs seem to facilitate complex problem solving, and at the same time, it just works the other way around. Complex problem solving allows employees to be successful in complex jobs. As this, recent research has shown that transversal skills and also complex problem solving are important predictors of employability and career development. You can compare, for instance, to the results of the Light in Europe project, but also to the PISA and the PIAC study. So if indeed complex problem solving is a reflection of the amount of lifelong learning, and a huge body of research has shown that, including the research in the Light in Europe project, then how can individuals, enterprises and countries facilitate this reflection? From this, we recommend that on the individual level, individuals should engage into continuous complex problem-solving training. On the enterprise level, enterprises should focus on innovative positions and future leaders and thus increase their overall level of transversal skills in the company. On a country level, a country should facilitate and subsidize complex problem-solving measures that lead towards increasing and facilitating transversal skills such as complex problem-solving, but of course also other transversal skills. If you're interested in more information on this topic, please see the thematic report on learning to lifelong learn. This report can be downloaded on the project's website, LLLight'inEurope.com. Thanks for listening.